Hello students, today class is something about requirement of mitochondrial shuttles. Inner mitochondrial membrane is freely permeable to small uncharged molecules such as oxygen, carbon dioxide, water, ammonia and monocarboxylic acids. However, it is impermeable to most other molecules. Hence, movement of ions and charged metabolites across the inner mitochondrial membrane is dependent on various transporters, carriers and shuttle pathways. And one of them is mitochondrial shuttle pathways. Something know about carriers and other exchange transporters. As we know, across the mitochondrial membrane, various exchange diffusion system operates for exchange of anions against OH ions and cations against H plus ions. Most of these transmembrane carrier proteins functions either as transporters or antiporters. Phosphate carrier readily transport inorganic phosphate in exchange for OH ion. Entry of calcium into mitochondria is facilitated by calcium H plus antiport. Similarly, calcium release from mitochondria occurs through an exchange with sodium. Dicarboxylate carriers exports malate, succinate and fumarate from mitochondria in exchange for inorganic phosphate. Tricarboxylate carrier transports citrate, isocitrate and H plus in exchange for malate. Alpha ketoglutarate also transports these in exchange for malate. Pyruvate in cytosol enters mitochondrial matrix by symport with H plus ion. Long chain fatty acid enters from cytosol into mitochondria by a special transporter called carnitine. Now ATP-ADP transporter. ATP is produced in oxidative phosphorylation, has to leave the mitochondria for its utilization. At the same time, ADP has to return to the mitochondria for ATP production. A specific protein called ATP-ADP translocase facilitates the transport of ATP and ADP. Flow of ATP and ATP is coupled process. ADP enters mitochondrial matrix only when ATP exists, providing translocase to be an antiporter. Now shuttle pathways. That is mitochondrial shuttle pathways. Why shuttle pathway required? Inner mitochondrial membrane is impermeable to NADH and NAD+. Electrons from NADH rather than NADH itself are carried across the membrane as a part of substrate molecule. Electrons are eventually handed over to the electron transport chain or used to reduce molecular oxygen to water. However, NADH cannot penetrate mitochondrial membrane and hence is dependent on two substrate shuttle pathway for its entry to mitochondria. One is glycerol phosphate shuttle and another is malate phosphate shuttle. First, glycerol phosphate shuttle. Glycerol phosphate shuttle. And another is malate phosphate shuttle. Glycerol phosphate shuttle. This shuttle begins with transfer of a pair of electrons from cytosolic NADH to dihydroxyacetone phosphate, an intermediate of glycolysis, converting it into glycerol 3-phosphate by a cytosolic dehydrogenase. Glycerol 3-phosphate now enters into mitochondria and is oxidized to dihydroxyacetone phosphate by a mitochondrial dehydrogenase. Electron pair of glycerol 3-phosphate is transferred to coenzyme FAD to form FADH2, which gets oxidized through ETC to generate 1.5 ATP. Dihydroxyacetone phosphate can cross mitochondrial membrane and goes to cytoplasm and again converted to glycerol 3-phosphate. Now, malate aspartate shuttle. The reducing equivalents are transferred from NADH in cytosol to auxiliary state, forming malate. Malate enters mitochondria and is oxidized by Krebs cycle enzyme malate dehydrogenase. In this reaction, NADH and auxiliary state are regenerated. NADH gets oxidized by electron transport chain and 2.5 ATP produced. So here, in contrast to glycerol phosphate shuttle, where only 1.5 ATP produced, here 2.5 ATP produced. Auxiliary state thus regenerated cannot cross inner mitochondrial membrane, hence undergoes transamination with glutamate. Transamination with glutamate. Here is aminotransferase enzyme. Transamination with glutamate. To form aspartate and alpha ketoglutarate. Aspartate then enters cytosol and again transaminates with alpha ketoglutarate to produce auxiliary state and glutamate, and cycle restarted here. The malate aspartate shuttle is mostly operated in heart and liver. No, malate aspartate shuttle mostly operated in heart and liver, whereas glycerol phosphate shuttle operates in muscle and other tissues. So, why subtle pathway required? Reducing equivalent produced in Krebs cycle and beta oxidation face no hindrance while entering the electron transport chain. Since this process, TCS cycle and beta oxidation and electron transport chain occur in same place, that is in mitochondria, but NADH produced in cytosol as in glycolysis needs to enter the mitochondria to be oxidized in respiratory chain. However, NADH cannot penetrate mitochondrial membrane, hence is dependent on two substrate subtle pathway for its entry into mitochondria, that is glycerol phosphate subtle system and malate aspartate subtle system. If substrate utilizes glycerol phosphate subtle system, it produces 1.5 ATP. If utilizes malate aspartate subtle system, it produces 2.5 ATP. And malate aspartate subtle operative in mostly heart and liver, while glycerol phosphate subtle operate in muscle and other tissues. These were all about subtle pathways and need of subtle pathways. Now something about bioenergetics. Bioenergetics, also called biothermodynamics. So, some basic knowledge of bioenergetics and thermodynamics is essential for better understanding of metabolism. Bioenergetics or biochemical thermodynamics is a study of energy changes accompanying biochemical reactions in living organisms. Now something about laws of thermodynamics. Energy in central theme in metabolism. Organism must expend energy to stay alive and to reproduce. Energy required for several processes to maintain the concentration gradient across the cell. 1/3 of energy required for this process or consumed for this purpose. For mechanical work involving muscle contraction, nerve muscle conduction, synthetic process, reproduction, and even store and express information. Laws of thermodynamics, which are universal in nature, are equally applicable to biological system. The first law of thermodynamics states that total amount of energy in the universe is constant. Energy can be transformed from one form to another, but within the total system, energy is neither destroyed nor created during a physical or chemical change. Second law of thermodynamics states that total entropy of system must increase if process is to occur spontaneously. Entropy represents a change in disorder or randomness of system. So first law of thermodynamics states that total amount of energy in universe remains constant. However, in the form of energy may change, but within the total system, energy neither destroyed nor created during a physical or chemical change. Second law of thermodynamics states that total entropy of system must increase if a process to occur spontaneously. Free energy. Energy available to work, known as free energy, Gibbs proposed the theory of energy changes during chemical reaction. Gibbs change in free energy used to predict the feasibility of chemical reactions. Free energy equals enthalpy equals temperature into entropy, where H change in enthalpy, T absolute temperature in Kelvin, G change free energy change, S change entropy. Term standard free energy that is noted by superscript over free energy represent free energy change when reactant and product in a chemical reactions are at a concentration of 1 millimole per liter at pH 7.0. Now, endergonic and exergonic reactions. Reactions that liberate free energy tend to occur spontaneously, known as exergonic reactions. Certain other reactions proceed spontaneously, are represented by positive free energy change, indicating that requirement for input of energy. Reaction this type of term endergonic reactions. So reaction that liberate free energy tend to occur spontaneously. In such reaction, free energy change represented by negative sign corresponding to a loss of free energy. These reactions known as exergonic reaction. On the other hand, that cannot proceed spontaneously represented by positive sign term endergonic reactions. Hydrolysis of ATP example of exergonic reactions. Opposite of that, synthesis of ATP is an endergonic reactions. Now, chemical coupling. All vital process, synthetic reactions, muscle contraction, nerve muscle conduction, and active transport obtain the required energy by coupling with oxidative reactions. some of energy released in catabolic reactions is transferred to anabolic reactions in the form of other than that of heat. It is quite evident from the above discussion that an inorganic reaction cannot occur on its own. It will have to couple with an exergonic reaction. This mechanism is known as chemical coupling. Usually, exergonic reactions constitute catabolism and inorganic reaction constitute anabolism. This is chemical coupling. Now, high energy compounds. High energy compounds. In biological system, certain compounds liberate large amount of energy on hydrolysis. They are known as high energy compound. Lippmann proposed the term energy rich compound containing high energy rich Lippmann proposed the concept of energy rich compound containing high energy rich anhydride bonds. Since most of these bonds are phosphoanhydride bonds, most of the high energy compounds are high energy phosphates. High energy bond is represented by a symbol squiggle. The free energy of symbol is squiggle, that is squiggle. Free energy of high energy bond ranges between -7 and -15 calories per mole. Substance that liberate at least 7 calories per mole at pH 7.0 considered as high energy compound. All the high energy compounds on hydrolysis release more than energy that of ATP. On the other hand, substance that liberate less than 7 calories per mole, that is lower than that in energy than hydrolysis of ATP, are termed low energy compound. A list of high energy and low energy compound along with their standard free energy on hydrolysis, that is phosphoenol pyruvate, carbamyl phosphate, 1,3-bis-phosphoglycerate, creatine phosphate, S-adenosylmethionine, ATP, low energy ADP, pyrophosphate, glucose 1-phosphate, AMP, glucose 6-phosphate, glycerol 3-phosphate. High energy and low energy, two groups given there. Now ATP. Adenosine triphosphate is most important high energy compound in biological system. It is composed of adenine, ribose sugar and triphosphate. Two terminal phosphoanhydride bond in the triphosphate moiety are high energy phosphate bond. Free energy release on hydrolysis of ATP powers all the inorganic process in the cell. For this reason, ADP is considered to be universal currency of the cell. Here is given a structure of ATP, adenine, ribose and phosphate. Synthesis of ATP, two mechanisms through oxidative phosphorylation by involvement of electron transport chain and substrate level phosphorylation without involvement of electron transport chain. Storage of high energy phosphate. Creatine phosphate acts as Creatine phosphate acts as a storage form of high energy phosphate. It occurs in skeletal muscle, in the heart and in brain. Creatine is phosphorylated to creatine phosphate by enzyme creatine kinase. Hydrolysis of ATP powers this reaction. Energy required for muscle contraction is derived from hydrolysis of ATP. The depleted ATP levels are replenished by the hydrolysis of creatine phosphate. This reaction is popularly known as Lohmann reaction, so named after the scientist who first described it. Now ATP-ADP cycle. It is estimated that an adult man weighing about 70 kg consumes about 80 kg of ATP per day. During strenuous exercise, as measured, half kg of ATP utilized per minute. Total ATP-ADP pool is extremely small, just about 250 gram, compared to the real requirement. Hence, ATP is continuously consumed and regenerated. The same ATP molecule is regenerated and recycled about 300 times a day. Continuous depletion and replacement of ATP is better described as ATP-ADP cycle, which connects the process of generation and utilization. ATP is used for vital processes like maintaining the concentration gradient across the cell membrane, biosynthetic process, muscle contraction and nerve muscle conduction. Here in diagram shown ATP-ADP cycle. ATP is synthesized by oxidative phosphorylation and substrate level phosphorylation, storage by creatine phosphate, and utilized through active transport, biosynthesis, nerve conduction and muscle contraction. So ATP cycle, ATP links the two major components of metabolism: catabolism, breakdown of molecules, and anabolism, synthesis of molecules. Thank you. Next class will be electron transport chain.